Want to build a future-ready career in data engineering and stay relevant as AI changes the IT job market? In this video, you will get a full overview of skills, tools, projects, certifications, and placement strategy covered in the program. Here are the main topics covered in this video: data engineering plus Azure career roadmap, Python, SQL, PySpark, and Azure SQL fundamentals, Azure Data Factory, Databricks, Synapse, and Microsoft Fabric. How DevOps helps deploy, scale, and monitor data pipelines. Docker, Kubernetes, Terraform, and CI/CD for production skills. LLMs, RAG, and Agentic AI, and their role in modern data engineering. 13 real-world projects plus 9 global certifications. Placements, experience positioning, resume, LinkedIn, and interview preparation. So watch this video till the end to see how these skills come together and how you can build a future-ready career in data engineering. If you are in IT and still stuck in the same salary, not getting enough interview calls, listen carefully. Right now, there are two types of people: those who keep waiting and those who upgrade their skills and move into high-paying roles, earning 15 to 45 plus LPA, because the market has already shifted. Cloud, data, AI, DevOps. These are the roles driving real career growth today. At Coding Superstars, we have helped thousands of professionals move into top tech roles.
I got placed in IBEX Labs. Previously, my package was 8 lakhs. Now it is around 14 lakhs. Thanks for the Coding Superstar for the guidance, and the course is very worth it.
I have accepted a position as a DevOps engineer at NTI Mindtree. The skills which were taught by Coding Superstars were directly applicable to the role, and I'm confident that they will be essential for my success.
Recognized by Silicon India as one of the top 10 cloud computing training firms in India. People who once had zero coding experience are now working in top companies like Microsoft, Accenture, TCS, Infosys, and more. This is not just another course. This is your path to becoming industry ready. So watch this till the end.
We are focusing on Azure. Okay, not AWS, not GCP. Why? Why are we focusing on only Azure, not GCP or not AWS? Okay, the answer is really simple. There are a huge number of opportunities in the market. There are a huge number of interview calls. When you say huge number of interview calls, it's in lakhs together requirements. Okay, maybe at lakhs together requirements. Maybe at only in India, only in the Azure landscape. All right. There are a huge number of requirements. Why is there that there are huge number of requirements? Because Microsoft is the richest company right now. 95% of the Fortune 500 companies are using Microsoft. There are a lot many other reasons. Each one of you can at least get around like 10 to 15 interview calls per month once you complete the program. Only thing is that you need to work on proper projects. Here in this program, we'll be focusing on 13 projects. We'll be focusing on 13 projects. If you focus on these 13 projects, then it is impossible for you to not get a job. Okay. And also how to position yourself. You have to show, because in the market, nobody will recruit you if you say that I'm a beginner. You have to show at least 2 to 3 years of experience as a data engineer, right? Okay, how do you build, deploy, and scale? You need to prove with the project experience. You should even show certifications also. So for that reason, we'll be covering 9 global certifications. What are the global certifications? I will even share you the document around that. Okay, so basically we are focusing on Azure. Okay, I hope you guys have got the clarity why we are focusing on Azure. Okay, so we'll not be focusing on only one skill. We'll be focusing on 3 things. That is data engineering, DevOps, and GenAI. With the help of data engineering skills, what do? We build data pipelines. With the help of data engineering skills, we build data pipelines. With the help of DevOps skills, what do? What do we do with the help of DevOps skills? With the help of DevOps skills, we deploy, scale, and monitor. Deploy, scale, and monitor the data pipelines. Okay, and with the help of GenAI and Agentic AI skills, what do? We automate the data pipelines. Okay, automate the data pipelines. Automate. That means whatever the work previously, if you are taking 20 hours of time to do some work, you can do it in just 30 minutes. All credit goes to Agentic AI. Okay, so for you to work on Agentic AI, first we'll be working on how LLM works and how RAG works. All these things we'll be working on. Only then we'll be getting to the next level. So it's visible, you need to check. Okay, it's visible to all. Okay, you need to check your device, how you are logging in. Okay, if you are not able to see, you have to log out and log in. Right? So now, every job opening in 2026, all these 3 things. Maybe right now, what is the demand all about? First of all, we should see what is the job market is all about. Okay, if you're learning some skills now today and tomorrow again some AI comes and take over your job, it's a waste of time, waste of effort, waste of money, everything is waste. So at the end of the day, first we should know what is the skill we are learning. It should not be only for 2026, it should be there for next 5-10 years and above. So that is the kind of skill we need to focus on. That is the kind of skills we need to focus on. In this line of in this line of skills of like Azure, like DevOps and GenAI and all, there are more than 1 lakh job opportunities right now in the current market. If you consider last 3 months, okay, there are more than 1 lakh requirements. This is the Indian market, not the global market, guys, right? This is Indian market. That is how great or huge the job market is. So what is that we will be focusing on today? We'll be focusing on 3 things. As a data engineer, you build data pipelines with the help of DevOps skills, okay, like CI/CD, Kubernetes, Terraform, GitOps, all these things will be deploying, scaling, and monitoring the data pipelines, and with the help of GenAI skills and Agentic AI skills, we wire everything into an intelligent system by building LLM pipelines, RAG with the help of tools like LangGraph, Agentic AI, LLM Ops, right? Azure OpenAI, MCPs, a lot of things you'll be learning about. This is the modern approach of learning the actual skills, right? Only learning data engineer, if you learn only data engineering in today's line, will not be able to sustain, because that is only can do one job, that is only building the data pipelines. Only building the data pipelines will not take you anywhere, okay, today. Okay, till 2025 you would have got a job only for data. Right now the market has completely changed. Okay, I hope you guys are getting the clarity. Okay, data engineering skills, DevOps skills, and GenAI and Agentic AI skills, that is what will be, everything is connected, interconnected. That is what we'll be trying to focus on. Okay, you do not choose between the skills, you choose the depth. Okay, you need to go the depth. Okay, so now there are 3 different kinds of job opportunities you can apply for. First is data engineering job role, second one is senior data engineering job role, and third one is data architect kind of a job role, right? As you can see the depth, if you want, you can take a screenshot of this. What is the depth? Okay, what is the depth of the skills you'll be learning in each one? We'll be covering all of it, right? I will go everything and we'll be going step by step. Okay, but however, I just want to give an insight what exactly we'll be focusing on in this video. And GenAI, okay, I mean, as you guys already know, it's not coming, it's already in the job descriptions. Companies are expecting you to know GenAI skills. What do you mean by GenAI? Okay, in GenAI, we'll be expecting 3 things. What is this? LLM, large language models, RAG, okay, and Agentic AI. These are the 3 things we'll be focusing on. How many of you are new to all the 3? How many of you are new to all the 3? LLM, RAG, and Agentic AI. How many of you are new to all the 3? Type in new in the chat box. LLM means brain of GenAI, RAG means memory of GenAI, okay, and Agentic AI means this is the robot of GenAI. This is what we will be trying to focus on. Well, this is what we'll be trying to focus on step by step. Okay. Okay, so remember that is how we'll be. Okay. As you can see, we'll be working on LLM data pipelines, RAG architecture, Agentic AI workflows, LLM Ops, MCP servers, all. If you are new to all these terms, if you do not understand what these terms are all about, do not worry. We'll be going everything into proper step by step. Okay, maybe everything like how do you work on Gen AI? Okay, how do you automate the deployment? Right? How do you intelligently schedule the pipelines, orchestrate the pipelines? All these things will be learning. Okay, and what is the role of AI agent? Okay, AI agent is all about if there are 20 data engineers, okay, without using AI agents. Now, a 20 data engineers work can be replaced by one AI agent, okay, one person who know how to automate the work. So 20 data engineers equivalent to one data engineer who knows not only data engineering, but also Agentic AI. That is how the job market is shifting. That is what we'll be focusing on, right? So totally right now, based on the recent job, like as you can see, data engineering alone, there are 30,000 openings, DevOps alone 55,000, okay, cloud engineer alone 20,000, totally Gen AI around like 9,000. If you add everything, there are more than 1,14,735. This is the recent stats what we have received, okay, in Indian market. That means, okay, getting 10 to 15 interview calls per month is a very easy thing in this skills, because these are the trending skills in the market. This is how the graph is. Okay, the wave is not slowing down. Maybe let's see. There are certain jobs which are going down. What are the jobs that are going on? Development jobs. Okay, previously were development job, testing jobs, support jobs, on cloud jobs. All these jobs are going down like this. The There are a lot of layoffs in this line. Whereas this graph, which is going up, okay, this graph is for, okay, data engineering plus DevOps plus GenAI. Okay, so this is on cloud. Okay, specifically we are focusing on Azure. This is the graph. As you can see, 2026, this is the requirement. What is the expected? Okay, expectation in 2027, it will grow to this number, 1,70,000. And 2028, it will be, okay, it will be more AI led. Okay, 2028, 2030. Okay, this is how these jobs are getting replaced by these jobs. That is the reason we have to change our approach. It's not that I know that a lot of them are getting laid off. Maybe that you guys also know. It's not because that you are not good, only because that market has changed. Okay, it's our time. Okay, that is when we have to plan and change our approach. Okay, don't blame yourself. Why did I get laid off? Am I not too good? No, it's not your problem. And only the market has changed. When market changes, you should also adopt. Like Nokia, when it was at the start, Nokia was once upon a time, it was a market leader, right? And when Android came in, then Nokia was like, no, I'm already good. I'm the best. People love me, right? We do not want to like upgrade to Android. They were stubborn and they are thrown out of the market. Right now, Android is ruling when Nokia is no more, right? That is how the market changes. You have to upgrade, you have to change. Every now and then the time changes. That is what it is all about. Okay, the market industry value totally is like 2.4 lakh crore. Okay, this is the kind of money that is getting invested in Indian AI and cloud infrastructure over last 3 years. What does it mean? There are huge amount of jobs that is being created. There is huge amount of salaries that is being distributed for only those people who are in this line. Right, money is taken from the job roles which are not which are old and not serving, and money is put into the jobs like data engineering, DevOps, GenAI, all these jobs. Why? These are the future. Okay, so you need to understand where the money is getting poured in India market. Why am I sharing all these things? So that you understand. You should not only take action, learn something only for now. You should learn something for the future, next 5 to 10 years. For that reason, we are discussing all these parameters. Right? Okay, and 89% of the Indian banks run on Azure. Whether you take HDFC or ICICI, majority of the Indian banks run on Azure, based because of the credibility and the trust that Microsoft has created from last 50 years. Okay, that is the reason we are focusing majorly on Azure. There is a 42% skill gap right now in the Indian market. Each one of you can easily get around 3 to 5 interview calls per week. Okay, maybe that only by working on a proper skill set, projects and all of it. How to do that, we'll talk about that. Not to worry, today's session will talk about all of it, right? I can even tell you what is the difference is engineering. If you want, you can take a screenshot of like how the comparison, like actual different. One engine learned all the three and how it goes. If you want, take a screenshot. I do not want to go into everything. If I start talking about everything, it will take a lot of time. Okay, so in certain stages, I will ask you to take a screenshot. You can take a screenshot and refer it later moment of time. Okay, fine. Okay, fine. I hope you guys are making sense. Data engineering, DevOps, GenAI, one level. This is what we'll be focusing on. Data engineering plus DevOps plus GenAI. Okay, all these things combined together. And why we are focusing on that, I have given you strong enough reasons. The reason is why. So now the next question is how. So now whatever we have discovered is why we need to learn data engineering, why we need to learn DevOps, why we need to learn GenAI, and why everything combines together. So now we'll discover how. How exactly? How do we do that? Okay, let's try to talk about the how part now. Let's try to talk about the how part right now. Okay, fine. So now, as you already know, why data jobs are booming? Simple. The more AI is booming, okay, the more data engineering jobs are booming because who will supply huge amount of data to AI teams? That is supplied by data engineers. Without data engineers, AI teams, machine learning teams, data science teams, deep learning teams cannot even survive. Okay, that is the reason data engineering jobs are booming, and the volume of data is increasing, or in fact, it's doubling every 3 months. That is the reason data is the future. Anybody who is working on data We need a lot of data professionals in the current market. 2.4 lakh crore is poured into the Indian market. That means salaries, you can expect whatever the salaries you want, the companies are ready to pay, provided that you provide such level of value. Only that. Okay, first thing, before we get into data engineer, do we need any kind of coding? We don't need any kind of hardcore coding, but we need Python and SQL. How many of you are new to both Python and SQL? Can you just type in new in the chat box? If you are new to both, type in new to both. If you are new to only Python, type in new to Python. If you are new to both, type in new to both. If you are new to only Python, type in new to Python. Okay, guys. So in Python, we need not have to learn everything. We need to learn 3 libraries. What are those? PySpark. PySpark is the first and a very important libraries of Python. It is used for dealing with big data transformation. And then second library is Pandas. Okay, Pandas. Pandas is it is a library of Python which deals with data tables, data frames. In simple words, it deals with tables. And the third and the important library is NumPy. NumPy is a library of Python which deals with numbers. These are the 3 libraries which we'll be dealing with. Normally, 99% of the training programs, okay, will ask you to learn Python by yourself and come, right? Will ask you to learn Python by yourself and come, or they will cover max to max 1 or 2 classes. But here, because as we know, the importance of Python, because if you are not good at Python, forget about becoming a data engineer. You cannot even enter the world of data engineer. For this reason, we'll be covering at least around like 12 to 15 classes of Python. Each and every class will be around like 1.5 to 2 hours, 1.5 to 2 hours. Okay, detailed Python will be covered, and it will be made or will be making you perfect in Python. Even if you have not written any kind of code in Python, we'll be starting from very start. And SQL. I think most of you might be already working on SQL. Can you guys type in the chat box? What SQL are you guys working on? Are you working on Oracle SQL, MS SQL, PostgreSQL? What SQL are you guys working? I know most of you are already working on SQL. Type in the chat box. What SQL are you guys working on, guys? What SQL are you guys working on? What SQL are you guys working on? Okay, I can see most of you are working on different version of SQL, MySQL, PostgreSQL, MS SQL, and all of it. Not to worry. Here in Azure, specifically, we'll be talking about Azure SQL. What is Azure SQL? It's a cloud version of SQL, where you need not have to install anything on your system. You need to log in into cloud, create a resource or server inside the cloud, and start writing the query in the very first minute. Okay, it is fast and very smooth, right? And if you already are working on SQL, then it will be the syntax will be 10 to 15% change. For those who are adopting from other SQL to here, there will be 10 to 15 syntax change. And here also we'll be covering around 12 to 15 classes for this SQL. 12 to 15 classes of Python and 12 to 15 classes of SQL will be covered. Okay, so this is really important, because without this we cannot enter into data engineering. So now let me share you the content. Okay, whatever the topics we are talking about, I will even start sharing you what exactly is the content that is being covered, so that right step by step you can even get a clarity on what is the content we'll be talking about. What is the content we'll be talking about? Let me share the content around this. What exactly do we cover in Python and SQL? Okay, before that, I want you to go through this main document. Keep this main document intact. This has everything. Whatever we'll be discussing today, this is the master document, guys. This is a master document. Inside the master document, if you drag down, there are a lot of links. So however, I will be sharing you one by one links. Okay, so today, maybe right, first thing I will be sharing you is what is that we'll be covering in Python and SQL. I have shared you. And totally, maybe it will be covering 13 projects and 9 certifications, even that I have shared you. The last link, is the kind of, Python, what they will be covering in Python and SQL. And I have even shared you the link for 9 certifications that are covered. In that, 3 certifications are for data engineering, 4 are for DevOps, and 2 are for GenAI. You can even go through that. You'll get a clarity around like what exactly are the certifications that are being covered. Okay, and 13 projects will be covered. Totally 5 projects in data engineering, 5 projects in DevOps, and 3 in GenAI, right? And what are the real-time scenarios around this GenAI? What are the real-time companies? How the real-time companies implement all the skills? Even that is shared across. Go through this document one by one so that you get a clarity. Okay, first thing, if you want to go through what exactly is covered in Python and SQL, you guys can go through this. Okay, I hope you guys have got the clarity. If it is clear so far, type in clear in the chat box. If it is clear so far, type in clear in the chat box. Okay, fine. So now, okay, as I've already told you, even if you have not written a single line of code, we'll be starting from the very scratch. Okay, so these are the 3 libraries what we'll be learning: NumPy, Pandas, and PySpark. Right? And in SQL, we'll be learning what? Azure SQL. Right? This is what we'll be like. Why is that we are focusing on Azure? I have already told you. Right now, the market is really good. Microsoft is the richest company on the planet. Second is Apple. Third is NVIDIA. Once upon a time, Apple was at the number 1 when Steve Jobs was the CEO. Okay, because nowadays in Apple, there is no much innovation happening. That is the reason it has lost its number 1 position to companies like NVIDIA or sometimes even Microsoft. Microsoft is leading right now from, the recent times. All credit goes to Satya Nadella, who has led Microsoft in such a way that the valuation of Microsoft is $3 trillion. Okay, it's $3 trillion freaking dollars, bigger than multiple countries put together. That is how big Microsoft is. LinkedIn is owned by Microsoft. ChatGPT, OpenAI, the major innovator is Microsoft. 95% of the Fortune 500 companies use Microsoft. GitHub is owned by Microsoft. Azure growth is taking exponential tangent from 2015 since Satya Nadella became the CEO. So should I ignore AWS and spin? No, but focus on Azure right now because the interview calls are really good. Once you learn Azure, learning AWS and GCP it's not that difficult. Like for example, if you know how to order food on Swiggy, okay, is it difficult to order food on Zomato? No, right? It's simple. Only the UI will change. Similarly, first focus on Azure, go depth. Don't only learn MBBS. Okay, try to become a master surgeon. That is what we'll be trying to become. Only because learning on the basic skills will not help you, right? That is the reason. Try to go deep. That is the reason we are going deep into one cloud, that is Azure, right? And the market, I've already told you, the market capital right now only in data engineering there are more than 40,000 job openings in the last 3 months. These are what are the kind of companies that are recruiting? All sort of MNCs, startups or like product-based companies, TCS, Infosys, Siemens, Equifax, Mindtree, Oracle, KPMG, Cognizant, Capgemini, many companies are recruiting. Each one of you can expect at least 10-15 interview calls per month once you complete the projects and all. What is the kind of CTCs you can expect? These are the kind of CTCs you can expect. So now, seeing on the screen, can you just type in the chat box, which of these 3 roles are you guys aiming for? Are you aiming to become a data engineer, senior data engineer, data architect? Which of these 3 roles are you guys aiming for? Which of these 3 roles are you guys aiming for? Okay, data engineer, senior data engineer, data architect. Which of these 3 roles are you guys aiming for? Okay, are you aiming to become a data engineer or senior data engineer or data architect? I will explain you what exactly will be the responsibility of a data engineer, what exactly will be the responsibility of a senior data engineer, and what exactly will be the responsibility of data architect. I will explain it crystal clear. Okay, first thing, data engineer. Anybody who is into IT or non-IT, and if you are earning a package of less than 15 LPA, whether you are earning 4 to 5, 4 to 6, or 10 to 12, or 14-15 lakhs, everybody who is having a CTC less than 15 lakhs, you can aim for a data engineering role. Okay, data engineering. What will you do here? You will be focusing on building and managing the data pipelines. You'll be focusing on building and managing the data pipelines. What kind of data pipelines? L1 to L2 level data pipelines. That is beginner to intermediate level data pipelines. Whereas a senior data engineer, to apply for a senior data engineer, you should be working in IT and you should already, if you're already getting a package of more than 15 LPA plus, okay, then you can aim for this role of senior data engineer. Okay, here the responsibility will be also to build and manage the data pipelines, but okay, you will be building and managing more advanced and complex level data pipelines like L3, L4, L5. What is this L1, L2, L3 and all? These are the levels of the complexity. For example, in support job role, you know, right? L1 support, L2 support. Similarly, in pipelines also, L1, data pipelines, L2 level data pipelines, depending on the complexity. A senior data engineer will be handling more complex data pipelines. Whereas a data architect is responsible for, who can apply for a data architect role? Anybody who is already working in a senior role in IT. And if you're already getting a package of more than 30 LPA plus. If you're already getting a package of more than 30 LPA plus, then you can aim to become a data architect. Okay, so what is the responsibility? Here will be responsible for designing. Here will be responsible for what are the things? You will be responsible for designing and plus implementing of the data solution. Okay, advanced, okay, designing and implementing the data solution. Like you will be like, first of all, you should have an end-to-end understanding about how the project works, how the IT infrastructure works, what are the different sources we have, what are the different destinations we have got, what are the volume of data that we are dealing with, what is the velocity of the data we are dealing with, what is the kind of storage spaces we need, what is the kind of data warehouses we need, what is the kind of tools we need, what is the kind of budget we have, what is the kind of team size we have. All these things are the responsibility of a data architect, right? That is the reason I told you anybody in a senior IT role only can become a data architect. You cannot say that I'm working in some XYZ or I want to directly become a data architect. Data architect has a responsibility. Like, for example, okay, if you want to become a chief minister, there is a hierarchy, right? First, you have to become a like MLA, then you have to become a member of parliament, then next steps, then finally become. There is a lot of credibility involved. Only then you can become a chief minister. Similarly, data architect is also a similar game. Okay, similar game, right? So this is how everything goes. Okay, I hope you guys have got the clarity. So now let me share you a document around this so that you guys can clearly get an understanding what exactly these three roles are. Okay, what is the data engineer, data architect, and all of it. You guys can go through it. What are these three roles are? I will share you a document so that you guys can go through it. The last link of whatever I have shared, that will give you an understanding about data engineer, senior data engineer, data architect. The last link. Open the last link and go through it. You'll get an exact clarity about what exactly are the responsibilities. The last link. Okay. Fine, yes. I hope you guys have got the clarity. Go to open the last link and go through it. Okay, fine. So now, if you are getting around like 5 to 6 lakh, you can expect around 12 to 15. If you're already getting around 10, 12 lakh, you can expect 20, 25. If you're getting 20 plus lakhs, you can expect easily 30, 45, 50, 60, 70, 80. This is the kind of CTC you can expect. And do not come and ask if you're getting 10 lakh, I want 1 crore. Okay, there are a lot of participants. We have even seen such kind of participants also. Okay, they said, so how did you get so much confidence to ask comment like by 10 from 10 crore, you can go from to 10 lakh to you can go for 1 crore. Sir, I saw an ad in Instagram. Somebody was telling if I'm getting 10 lakh, I can get 1 crore. Okay, that is what you should not get fooled. Okay, there are a lot of misleading ads going on in the market. You should be wise enough to understand what is a market standard, is what is possibility. All right, you need to stretch your goals. Don't set impossible goal. If I'm getting 10 lakh, I can get 1 crore. No. Okay, maybe right. Stay away from all this kind of impossible kind of goals. Set realistic goals. When you set realistic goals, you will not deceive yourself. Okay, you will not deceive yourself. And these skills, whatever you are learning, this is not only Indian market. This is global, because Microsoft is not an Indian skill. Right? Is Microsoft an Indian skill? No, it is a global skill. Correct? It's a global phenomenon. Right? You can apply for the job anywhere, any part of the globe. Right? AI is here. I've already talked about it. You need not have to tell more about that. The jobs are 70% of the IT market is getting washed off or getting laid off because of AI. Okay, what are the kind of jobs that are going off? You already know. And what is that we need to focus on right now? These are the skills we need to focus on. These are the actual skills we focus on. That is cloud plus data engineering plus DevOps plus GenAI. Right? Even if you're new to all of the 4 things, not to worry. I will help you out in understanding everything from the very scratch. Like you will never hear it anywhere from anywhere or YouTube or any other sessions. You will not hear this kind of depth or clarity. Remember, this is not overconfidence. We have seen the kind of results. We have got the results of more than 95% of the participants from the previous batch participants are able to fetch not only a job, but a very good offers, multiple offers. That is the main thing what we'll be focusing on. Now, first thing what we'll be focusing on is data engineer, right? So now first we'll be trying to focus on data engineer. How we'll be learning? First, we'll be trying to understand how data engineering works. Second, we'll be learning about second layer of DevOps, and the third layer of GenAI and Agentic AI. Okay, and then finally we'll talk about placements also. That is how it goes. So now, can you guys tell me? So now let's enter into the world of data engineering and try to understand how does the architecture of data engineering work. So can you guys tell me what are the responsibilities of a data engineer? Type in the chat box, what are the responsibilities of a data engineer? What are the responsibilities of a data engineer? Type in the chat box. What does a data engineer do? Why are the data engineers paid so much? Why are the data engineers jobs so much, more than 40, 60, 70,000 openings? Why? Build data pipeline. Yes, what else? What else? Guys, I want you to flood the inbox with most of your answers. Even if you're wrong, nobody will judge you. Design pipelines, build data pipelines. What else, guys? What else? Okay, clean raw data. Yes, that is also one of the responsibilities. Managing the data pipeline, that is also one of the data responsibilities. Data transformation is whatever you guys are tapping is right. But let's organize. Okay, let's organize all the answers in a very structured approach, structured format. Because whenever we are attending the interview calls, the more mature and more sorted our answers are, the more better chances will be to get selected. Right? The more mature the answers we give, the more better the answer it will be. So now a data engineer has three major responsibilities. What are the three major responsibilities data engineer has? First responsibility of a data engineer is to design. Second responsibility is to build. Third responsibility is to manage. All right. Okay. Data engineer has three major responsibilities: design, build, and manage. What will a data engineer build, design, build, and manage? A data engineer will design, build, and manage dash. Let's see who will answer first. A data engineer will design, build, and manage dash. Let's see who will answer first. A data engineer will design, build, and manage dash. Okay. A data engineer will. I'm expecting the answer. I have not got the right answer yet. A data engineer will design, build, and manage dash. Yes, we can tell it as a data engineer will design, build, and manage data pipeline. Data pipeline. What exactly do you mean by data pipeline? A data pipeline is something. A data pipeline is something that connects source with the destination. A data pipeline is something that connects source with the destination. What do you mean by source? Source is a place. Source is a place. Source is a place where we have raw data. Source is a place where we have raw data. What do you mean by raw data? Can you guys tell me what are the characteristics of raw data? When do you call any kind of data as raw data? Type in the chat box, guys. When do you call any kind of data as raw data? Any data which is unstructured, unprocessed, and unclean is called as raw data. Okay, it's called as raw data. So can you guys tell me what are the different sources of raw data? What are the different sources of raw data? It can be from a website, it can be from API, it can be from SQL database, it can be from NoSQL database, it can be from AWS cloud, it can be from AWS S3 bucket, it can be from, it can be in the JSON format, it can be in XML format, it can be in CSV format, any kind of format, it can be from IPL cricket match data, it can be from e-commerce company like Amazon, Flipkart, it can be from healthcare company, it can be from banking applications like HDFC, anywhere. It can be from anywhere. These are the different sources of raw data. But at the destination, what do we have? We have got AI teams, machine learning teams, data science teams, deep learning teams, business intelligence teams, data analyst teams. All these teams are the destinations. Now, can you guys tell me, can we directly supply this raw data to all these teams? Can we directly supply raw data to all these teams, guys? Can we do that? Can we directly supply raw data to all these teams? AI teams, machine learning team, data science teams, and all of it. Never. We cannot supply it. What kind of data should we supply them? What is the kind of data we can supply them? We should supply them. We can only supply fully processed, fully structured, fully clean, business-ready data. In simple words, we call it as fully processed, business-ready data. So now, who will convert this raw data into fully processed business-ready data? Who will convert this? Who will convert this, guys? Who will convert this raw data into fully processed business-ready data? Who will do that? Who will do the job? Whose responsibility it is? Yes, that's the responsibility of a data engineer. That is where the main main hero of our talk comes into picture. That is done by data engineer. How will a data engineer do? How will a data engineer do that? Okay, data engineer will do that by building a data pipeline from source to destination, something like this. And inside the data pipeline, data engineering will perform three major actions. What are the three major actions that data engineer will perform inside the data pipeline? Three major actions what the data engineer will perform inside the data pipeline. Can you guys answer? What are the three actions what a data engineer will perform inside this data pipeline? That is nothing but, what is that? Yes, that's ETL, extraction, transformation, and load. This is one of the kind of pipeline. It can be also ELT, it can be also cup architecture, it can be also fan-out architecture, it can be also lambda architecture. Okay, there are 8 different kinds of architecture, pipeline architectures. Okay, one of the pipeline architecture is ETL. Okay, why are we using ETL for it? Easy to understand. But depending on the project, we have to change our architecture. We'll be learning about all the different kinds of architecture, not to worry on the part. The first step is we have to extract the raw data from different sources into a single place. We have to extract the raw data from different sources into a single place like this. We have to extract the raw data from different sources into a single place like this. This is called as data extraction or data ingestion. Which tool in Azure do we use for data extraction? Can you quickly type in the chat box? Which tool in Azure do we use for data extraction? We use Azure Data Factory. Azure Data Factory. Good part about Azure Data Factory is that there is no coding required. It's a no-code tool. No-code tool. More or less, it's a drag and drop tool. It's more or less like drag and drop. Okay, it's a portal-based work. Very easy to work on it. Once you have worked on it, second step is we have to stage the data or store the data. Okay. Second step is before we do the transformation, we have to stage the data or store the data. Which tool in Azure do we use for staging the data? Which tool do we use for storing the data? Can you guys answer? There are 2 kinds of storage spaces. What are the storage spaces in Azure called as? What are the storage spaces in Azure called as? There are 2 storage spaces in Azure. First storage space is called as blob storage. Second storage space is called as ADLS Gen 2, Azure Data Lake Storage Gen 2. ADLS Gen 2 we use for storing big data. Okay, what do you mean by big data? When do you call any kind of data as big data? Any data which is in the range of terabyte to petabyte is called as big data. Here we store the data in 3 layers, 3 different layers: bronze layer, silver layer, and gold layer. This approach of storing the data in 3 different layers is called as what? Medallion architecture. Is called as medallion architecture. Okay, how many of you are absolutely new to this storage services like Blob and ADLS and all of it? How many of you are absolutely new to it? Just type in new in the chat box. Okay, so, yes guys, if you are new to it, type in, no shame. Okay, everybody is here to learn. Okay, because at the end of the day, when you are learning, you have to be absolutely honest. Okay, if you do not know, you should say, I do not know. That is when you can learn. Okay, so learning attitude is one of the key attitudes. Not everybody will have that kind of an attitude. You should learn what you have learned and learn everything in the right way. And blob storage is used for storing small volume of data. Maybe in 10 GB, 20 GB, 30 GB, small volume of data, which is in gigabytes, will be stored in blob storage. So next comes data transformation. Which tool do we use for data transformation, guys? Which tool in Azure do we use for data transformation? Can you guys quickly answer? Which tool in Azure do we use for data transformation? What tool do we use? What's the most powerful tool? Okay, that is used for data transformation. That is none other than what? Databricks. Yes. Databricks. Inside Databricks, we have a very powerful big data processing engine that is called as Apache Spark. What is Apache Spark? Let me tell you. For example, just imagine that you have a bike, you own a bike. Okay, just imagine you have own a Harley Davidson. Harley Davidson is a super bike. Okay, and just imagine you have you're owning a Harley Davidson Iron, which is more than like 1000 cc plus. So on a 1000 cc engine, okay, if you fit in a 150 cc or 200 cc Pulsar engine, will it work? No, it will not give such kind of power or efficiency. Similarly, if your input is to transform 500 TB of data, can you transform 500 TB of data with small engines? No, you need big data processing engine. That is exactly what Apache Spark is. What do we do with the help of Apache Spark? Okay, we transform this, we distribute this 500 TB of data into 5 different servers. Okay, 100 TB here, 100 TB here, 100 TB here, 100 TB here, 100 TB here. This approach of transforming 500 TB of data by distributing across different servers, okay, it's called as distributed processing or parallel processing. That is what the beauty of Apache Spark is. We can even do the similar job in Hadoop, Kafka, Scala, and all of it, but even then we are using Apache Spark because it is very fast and the efficiency of Apache Spark is very well compared in the market, and almost 95% of the projects are using Apache Spark. That is the reason we are using Apache Spark. I hope you guys have got the clarity why we are using Apache Spark. Okay, Apache Spark inside Databricks. So now let me ask you one very powerful question. So to communicate between Apache Spark and Databricks, we have to use a language. What language do we use to communicate between Apache Spark and Databricks? What is the language that is used to communicate between Apache Spark and Databricks? What language do we use, guys? What language do we use to communicate between Apache Spark and Databricks? Can you guys answer? What language do you use, guys? PySpark. Yes, that's the right answer. We'll be using PySpark. Don't tell Python. Python is very huge. We have to specifically tell PySpark. How many of you are absolutely new to PySpark? Type in new in the chat box. How many of you are absolutely new to PySpark? Type in new in the chat box. Not to worry, guys. Even if you are new to PySpark, we will help you out in learning this PySpark from the very scratch. Okay. So once you are done with this, once you have learned this part of data transformation, then we'll be loading the data. Where do we load the data? We can load the data into database, SQL data pool, or majority of the time we'll be loading the data into a data warehouse. So now can you guys tell me what is the data warehouse in Azure called as? What is the data warehouse in Azure called as? What is the data warehouse in Azure called as? The data warehouse in Azure is called as, what is it called as, guys? It is called as Synapse Analytics. Synapse Analytics. Okay. Sometimes we even load into external data warehouse. That is nothing but Snowflake. We'll even talk about that as well. Okay. From here, we'll be loading the data to all these teams. From here, we'll be loading the data to all these teams. We'll be loading the data to all these teams. I hope you guys are getting the clarity. And this, then AI teams and machine learning team, the data science team and deep learning team, business intelligence, data analyst team will start working. So now, okay, if you have a question in your mind, okay, there are layoffs of developers are getting laid off, testing engineers are getting laid off, support jobs are getting laid off, on-prem jobs are getting laid off, almost 70% of the IT market is getting laid off. Why is the data engineering jobs increasing? Okay, can anybody tell, depend by seeing the diagram, can anybody tell why is that data engineering jobs are increasing even though AI is booming? Why are the data engineering jobs increasing? Can you guys answer in the chat box? So now by seeing this diagram, I think you should be in a position to tell the answer. Okay, so the reason is, right, if there are no data engineers, who will supply this data to all these teams? If there is no data engineering team, who will supply the data? Nobody, right? Somebody needs to supply. That data is supplied from raw data. Who will extract, transform, and load and supply data? So that is where data engineering jobs are increasing. The more AI is booming, the more the AI booms, the more the data engineering jobs will double or triple or quadruple. This is the formula, guys. You should understand this. If you understand this logic, you will be fearless. If you do not understand this logic, you will have fear. Okay, even learning data engineering also, you'll have, will I get laid off? No. This is the logic you should have. And once you have learned all these things, then finally we'll be learning one of the most finest and most in-demand tool in data engineering right now. That is called as Fabric data. We'll be learning about Fabric. What is Fabric? Fabric is an all-in-one tool. Okay, certification code is DP700. Okay, and we'll be learning this also in totally all these things will take approximately around 3.5 to 4 months, starting from very scratch. Even if you do not know Python and SQL, you'll be learning from every scratch. Okay, what are the projects that are covered? There'll be 5 projects that will be covered. There'll be 1 project on Data Factory, 1 project on Databricks, 1 project on Data Warehouse, Synapse, 1 project on Fabric, and finally 1 project on end-to-end. Okay, this is how it goes. Okay, you can start attending the interview calls from 2nd or 3rd month itself. You need not have to wait till 3 to 4 months. Okay, if you already know the data platform, if you already know Python and SQL, you can even learn this faster within 2nd or 3rd month itself. Okay, so how soon you can attend the interview calls is completely depend on you, how fast you are able to put in efforts around this. That is how everything goes. I hope you guys have got the clarity. If it is clear so far, type in clear in the chat box. If you are clear so far, type in clear in the chat box, so that right now I can share you the contents. Okay, what are the contents that are covered around this? Let me share you the contents that are covered around this. What exactly is covered in data engineering? All of it I will share it to you. Okay, so here it is. So the last link is of data engineering. Okay, I'm sharing you everything in a hierarchy. The last link is of data engineering content. Okay, you can go through it. So now if you have understood how data engineering works, now let's try to understand how DevOps works. And before that, let me ask you this question. How many of you are absolutely new to Azure Portal, never worked on Azure Portal in your entire life? Because all the practicals we'll be doing here. How many of you are absolutely new to Azure Portal? If you do not know Azure Portal, okay, then not to worry, we'll be even helping you on learning about Azure fundamentals. First of all, you should know the fundamentals of cloud computing. What does cloud computing mean? What are the different kinds of services do we have? Infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, software as a service. In Azure itself, there are more than 400 to 500 services. Okay, I can see what are the different categories of services. Let me show you some services in Azure. As you can see here, AI plus machine learning, 21 services, analytics related, 20 services, compute related, 32 services, container related, Kubernetes, Docker, database related services, DevOps related services, right, hybrid services, Internet of Things, IoT related services, integration related services, migration related services, a lot of it are there. You have huge number of services. Even if you are new, not to worry, will help you out in learning this from the very scratch. Okay, so now, and will you get referrals by the end of the day? Absolutely yes. Without referrals, any program is a failure. Right? If you do not get referrals, what is the use of learning that? If you are not supported with placements, what is the use of learning all these things? Okay, that is the result. Okay, you will be supported with proper placement structure. So now, these are the kind of job roles you can apply for. Now, let me Control F and search for DevOps. If you Control F and search for DevOps, you can see almost 95% of the companies are expecting you to know DevOps skills. Let me open one of the DevOps skills. As you can see, let me zoom in. If you see this skill, what is the companies expecting? What are the job descriptions they are expecting? In data engineering, they're expecting you to know Data Factory, Azure Synapse, Databricks, PySpark, Python, SQL, ADLS, Data Lake, Power BI, okay, DevOps, Azure DevOps pipelines, GitHub Actions, Terraform, Docker, IAC, CI/CD. Why is it they're expecting this? Again, not only one company, there are lot of companies are expecting this. Can you see this? Okay, again, they're expecting. What are the companies expecting all these things? All the skills in DevOps. Why are the companies expecting DevOps skills in a data engineering job role? All Deloitte, KPMG, HCL, TCS, all these companies are expecting. Why? Let's try to understand why exactly they are expecting, okay, all those skills. For you to understand that, let's try to understand with a simple architecture. Okay, just imagine this is Amazon. You're working in Amazon. Amazon, as you guys know, it's a huge company, huge e-commerce company. Each and every second, there is huge amount of sales that is happening. Huge volume of sales is getting generated at a huge velocity. And here is a data engineer. What will a data engineer do? Data engineer is responsible for building data pipeline with the help of tools like Data Factory, Databricks, Synapse, and all of it. We already discussed about that. Okay, how many data pipelines should be there in a single project, in a single team? Approximately there will be around like 300 to 500 data pipelines, right? Sometimes if the project is really small, it will be around like less than 150 data pipelines. If the project is really big, there will be more than 800 plus data pipelines. Generally, it will be more than 800 plus data pipeline. For example, how do you calculate data pipeline? For example, if you're working in TCS, if there are 20 data engineers and each and every data engineer is working on 20 data pipelines, totally there will be 400 data pipelines in a single team. That is how it goes. Okay, till here is the job role of a data engineer. Okay, what do you do? Till here, you only build data pipelines here. So now, next role is we need to deploy the data pipeline to multiple servers, like server number 1, server number 2, server number 3, server number 4. We need to deploy the data pipeline to multiple servers. Server number 1, server number 2, server number 3, server number 4. Okay, why do we need to deploy to multiple servers? What will happen if we deploy all the data pipeline to single server like this? Can you guys answer? What will happen if we deploy all the data pipeline to single server like this? What will be the problem? What will happen if we deploy all the data pipelines to single server like this? Can you guys answer? What will happen if we deploy all the data pipelines? Yes, server will crash. Absolutely right. If the server number 1 is overloaded, then this will crash. If server number 1 crash, Amazon site will crash. What will happen if the Amazon site crash? Customers will not be able to access. Then it will be crores and millions and billions of. There will be millions and billions of dollars of losses that Amazon has to face. For that reason, what will Amazon do? Now Amazon will transfer the load from server number 1 to server number 2. If the load on server number 2 is also very high, the load will be transferred to server number 3. If the load on server number 3 is also very high, load will transfer to server number 4. What is this phenomena called as? The approach of transferring the load to adjacent server is called as what? What is the technical phenomena called as? What is this called as? What is this called as? The approach of transferring the load of single server to multiple servers, okay, to avoid crash. Yes, that is called as Satya has answered, it is called as load balancing. Yes, load balancing. Load balancing prevents the servers from multiple things. So from crashing, from any kind of a disaster, from any kind of a disaster management, for backup, and for all those things, load balancing is the answer. For that reason, we need to deploy the data pipelines to multiple servers. So now what skills do we need to deploy the data pipelines to multiple servers? For that, we need what skills? We need DevOps skills. We need DevOps skills. What do we do with the help of DevOps skills? We do perform 3 things. You perform 3 things with the help of DevOps. What are the 3 things? Okay, deploy. First thing, you need to deploy. How do you deploy? And this is how you need to deploy. Server number 1, server number 2, server number 3, you deploy. Once you deploy, for example, let's take an example of Amazon. Amazon in normal days, just imagine that you need only 100 servers. During the big billion days, you need 10,000 servers. Because, okay, there are like 100 to 1,000% more customers are trying to grab offers. That is when you need to scale. You need to scale, deploy, scale. And then once you have scaled, do you think all the servers and all the pipelines will work properly? No, you have to monitor. Okay, so these are the 3 responsibilities you need to handle. What are this? Deploy, scale, and monitor. Who will tackle all the skills? That will be tackled by a DevOps with the help of DevOps skills. That is where you will be learning DevOps skills, right? So now, what are the skills you need to learn here? First skill you will be learning about how to build and automate CI/CD pipeline. Do we need any kind of coding skills for CI/CD? No, we don't need coding, but we need scripting. How many of you are new to scripting? Can you just type in new in the chat box? How many of you are new to scripting? How many of you are absolutely new to scripting? Right? Scripting is very simple, guys. It's not difficult like Python or Java or .NET. It's like low memory, programming language. It is used for simple automating some. It is used for simple tasks like automation and all of it. Right? There are 2 kinds of. We have got 2 kinds of scripting languages we'll be learning: YAML scripting and PowerShell scripting. Even if you do not know anything, we'll be covering it. Along with this, what do we need? We need to learn Linux. Can you guys tell me why are we focusing on Linux operating system? Why not Windows operating system? Why are we focusing on Linux operating system? Why not Windows operating system? Yes, the simple answer is security. Correct. Because Linux operating systems are more secure. You should know how to write commands on Linux. Will be helping you to learn, okay, that as well. Will be helping you learn that as well. Second part is we should learn about Kubernetes and Docker. Okay, we should learn about GitHub, Jenkins. We should learn about Terraform for infrastructure programming. Okay, we should learn about monitoring tools. Then we should learn about end-to-end projects. In simple words, if you are only learning data engineer, you can only do one thing, that is build data pipelines. Till 2025, okay, if you had learned only data engineering, you should have got a job. But right now, I want you to, after this session, go on the job portals on LinkedIn and verify the job descriptions. Check what are they expecting. Okay, we have to learn whatever we are learning, we have to learn based on the job description. It's like if you are a cricketer, okay, you have to prepare, okay, for the that particular match depending on the pitch. If it is a batting pitch, you cannot play like randomly. You have to plan. Similarly, okay, when right now the market is expecting you to know deployment scale, securing and monitoring skills, you cannot expect that by only building data pipelines I can secure a job. And for that, you need to be smart enough in understanding the market. That is the reason I'm again tell you, understand the market before learning any skills. Right? That is what we need to do. And we'll not only build with the help of DevOps skills, what you'll do, we will deploy, scale, and monitor. Deploy, scale, and monitor. And so now you'll be becoming somebody, okay, who will do both the things. How much duration will it take? So this will take, so you'll be taking both the things parallel. If you're taking 3 classes for data engineering, you'll be taking 3 classes for DevOps, right? For example, if you're taking data engineering in the morning, you'll be taking DevOps in the evening, or DevOps in the morning, or data engineering in the evening. Okay, each and every class will be 1.5 to 2 hours. Approximately, you'll be spending around like 10 hours for classes, right? And every Sunday, 9 to 11, you will have interview preparation sessions, right? And that is how it goes. If you cannot attend morning or evening, you can even attend weekend classes. There will be a lot of slots. There will be a lot of slots in a very structured way. Okay, there will be a lot of slots. This is how everything works. That is what you'll be trying to become. Okay, you'll be learning building data pipelines and everything in a very structured way. Okay, how many of you are clear so far? Like how DevOps and data engineering are connected? Okay, type in clear in the chat box. Okay, if you are clear of how data engineering and DevOps are connected, type in clear in the chat box. Okay, this is kind of an industry-oriented approach into real-time history. Now, let me share you what are the content that is covered and what are the kind of interview questions that you can expect. Let me share you that so that you guys can go through that. Okay, so now last 2 links, what I am about to share, okay, will give you the content for DevOps, also the interview questions that will be asked in real-time server questions that will be asked in DevOps. I have shared you all the links. Go through that. Last 2 links are for DevOps. Okay. Okay. So now we'll go into 4 more things. So far what we have learned 2 things. We have got to understand 2 things. What are those 2 things? First, data engineer, to build data pipelines. With the help of data engineering skills, what do you do? Build. With the help of DevOps skills, what we'll do? We deploy. We scale. We monitor, and then with the help of GenAI skills, what we do? We automate. These are the 3 skills we have already mastered, right? So now we'll be learning the next level of skill. We'll be learning next level of skills. That is nothing but GenAI. We'll be talking about GenAI part. So now we'll be talking about the actual GenAI part. Okay, so now can you guys tell me how many of you are new to all these 3 terms? LLM, RAGs, and Agentic AI. These are the 3 building blocks of GenAI, right? This is what we'll be learning. How many of you are new to this? LLM, RAGs, and Agentic AI. Okay, so now once we have discussed with all about this GenAI and all of it. Then we'll be discussing about the placement approaches. Okay, placement approaches, how it works. And at the end, I will even share you some like, okay, roadmap, placement roadmap, okay, blueprint of the place, how to get, how is that like 95% of the participants are able to get placed. Okay. So what is the approach they follow? All these things, blueprint, I will share it to you in the form of a doc. Okay. Stay till the end. Okay. So now let's try to understand how exactly data Gen AI works. Let me help you in understanding how exactly this Gen AI works, guys. Okay, are you finding it interesting so far? Because when your learning become interesting, that is when you can grow without suffering. Okay, you can grow without stressing yourself. If your learning is stressful, then your job will also be stressful. Okay, is it exciting you so far to build your career around this? Okay, fine, guys. I hope you guys are getting a clarity. So now what we will do, I will help you the similar way like I help you understand data engineering and DevOps. So now I will help you in understanding how GenAI works. So now let's imagine this is you. So now just imagine that you are using ChatGPT. You are using your cell phone. On your cell phone, you are using ChatGPT. What is this ChatGPT? ChatGPT is an LLM, large language model. Okay, what is this LLM? LLM is like a brain. This is the brain of GenAI, brain of GenAI. What do you mean by brain? Brain will only work when you train it, correct? For example, if you want any skills, if you want to learn driving or anything, first of all, you need to train your brain, right? Only then it can give you such kind of skills. Similarly, okay, first thing you need to train the LLM. How will you train the LLM? By feeding it with huge amount of data from the internet. Whatever the white box you are seeing, this is the internet. Okay, huge amount of data in the form of different formats will load it into ChatGPT. That is when if you ask any kind of question to ChatGPT, you will get the response back. But when you are asking, if you had asked the same question like 3 years or 4 years back to ChatGPT, 4 years back, it was giving you stupid answers because it was not mature. It was not trained well. But right now, if you ask same question, it will give you more mature answers. How and why? Because of the more you train the model, the more better the answer you can expect. The more better the answer you can expect. I hope you guys are getting the clarity. Okay, so that is how it goes. Okay, fine. So now, once this is done, so now what is the drawback of this AI agents? What exactly is the drawback of this AI agents? So now just imagine, okay, so you're working in a company like TCS, okay, and in TCS, you have this project. And this project, just imagine this is called as TCS project. In TCS project, this is a data engineering layer, this is a DevOps layer. And TCS, as you know, is a service-based company, will have their own client. And most of the time it is from US or UK. Let's imagine this is from USA, United States of America. So now, can you guys tell me, will the client of TCS, who is in USA, allow TCS to upload their project data into ChatGPT? Yes, guys. Will the client of TCS, United States of America, allow TCS to upload their client project data into ChatGPT? Never. Why? What will happen if they allow? 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 What will happen, guys? Yes, there will be data leakage, there will be security problems, there will be like data breach problem, agreement breaching, lot of things will happen. For that reason, so now TCS has to come up with solution. What will TCS do? Now TCS will what will they do? They will have to build their own LLM model. They will have to build their own LLM model, which is private to only this project. That is called as TCS GPT. Example, TCS GPT. This is what is this? LLM. This is LLM. Okay, and this LLM is nothing but brain of GenAI. This is nothing but brain of GenAI. So that anytime you ask any kind of question to this, okay, this TCS GPT, you will be getting the answer only pertaining to this project, not outside the project. Okay, it is very secure. It is very secure. That is a reason. That is a reason. Okay, there is more security. Okay, so now we talked about LLM. That is brain of GPT. Okay, the brain of GenAI. That is brain of GenAI is nothing but LLM. So will the brain work without memory? Will the brain work without memory? Never. Okay, for that reason, we need to build a memory layer. So now, can you guys tell me what is the memory layer of Gen AI called as? The brain layer of Gen AI is called as LLM. What is the memory layer of Gen AI called as, guys? What is the memory layer of Gen AI called as? It is called as RAG. Absolutely right. It is called as retrieval augmented generation. Right? This is called as RAG. There is a 7-step approach of building RAG pipelines, which we'll be discussing in actual classes, right? Which will be, with the help of it, we can embed, okay, the complete memory of the project into this RAG pipeline. So that in the form of vector-based embedding, there's a lot of steps around like how to build a RAG pipeline by using different tools. We'll talk about that. Okay. So now with the help of this RAG pipeline, okay, we build the memory. Okay. Now, for example, right now, if you interact with ChatGPT, it will give you the answer within no fraction of milliseconds. How? Because of the memory, huge brag memory that is built. Similarly, we're building a brag memory for your TCS project. That is when, if you ask any kind of question, like how many data pipelines are there in TCS project, you will get the answer like 500 data pipelines. How many data pipelines are not working out of 500? 100 data pipelines are not working. Okay. Can you fix this 100 data pipeline? Yes. Okay. How will you fix this 100 data pipeline? With the help of Agentic AI. The help of Agentic AI. How will you build this Agentic AI? How exactly will you build this Agentic AI? That is the robot layer. That is what we'll be discussing. Okay. Here we'll be building one more layer that is called as Agentic AI layer. Agentic AI layer. This is called a robot layer. How does a robot work? Robot, for example, if you have seen this movie called Rajnikant's movie, okay, Robot, where a human robot, Vasikaran builds Chitti Robo, right? And that robo is able to do any task, okay, what Vasikaran trains this robo for. Similarly, how can you build this agentic AI? First step is you need to set a goal. You need to give a goal. What is the goal of a goal? In our case, our goal is to whatever the data pipelines are not working, you should be able to fix. Second step is, okay, you need to train this agentic AI. How do you train? By supplying with huge amount of data. Okay. The more you train, the more mature the model gets. The more mature the model gets, the more better the accuracy, accurate will be the answer. Okay, when you have built the proper agentic AI, then I can tell you if 100 data pipelines, normally for fixing 100 data pipelines, okay, minimum to minimum, around like 10 to 15 working days is required. 10 to 15 days is required. So now if you built an agentic AI for fixing this by just taking 2 hours, so now you'll be doing the job of whatever used to take 15 days, now you can do the same job in less than 2 hours. You can do the same job in less than 2 hours. That is how it works. You can do the same job in less than 2 hours. That is how everything works. All right. This is the beauty of Agentic AI. Okay. Can you learn Agentic AI directly? No. First of all, you should learn LLM and then RAG and then, okay, and then final layer of Agentic AI. Do we need any kind of coding for this? Yes, we need Python for API integration. We'll even cover the first step is we need to learn about LLM, which is the brain of Gen AI. Second is RAG, which is nothing but memory of Gen AI. And then comes Agentic AI. Agentic AI. This is like a robot of Gen AI. Okay, then I will be learning all these things from a very structured. Well, let me share you the content of it. Let me share you the content of all of it so that you guys can get the clarity around what we are discussing. Okay. Okay, so this is the content, that is data engineering, real-time scenarios. Yes. Yes, guys. I'll share the content, the link in the chat box. You guys can go through it. The last link is for GenAI. You can go through it. I've shared you all the links. Everything we have covered in a very systematic approach. That is how everything goes. That is how everything goes. Okay. I hope you guys have got the clarity. If it is clear so far, type in in the chat box. So now we'll try to understand what is the structure of the programs and how the placement works and everything, how everything is connected. Let's try to talk about that. Okay. First thing. Okay. As you can see, there will be 3 layers in this program. Data engineering layer, DevOps layer, GenAI layer. How everything is connected, you guys already know. Okay, data engineering and DevOps will take around 4 months. Okay, this too will take around 4 months, right? Both the things will be taking parallel. If you're taking this in morning, if you will take this in evening, or this in morning, this and evening, or you can even take in weekends also. One in the weekdays and weekends. So more accurately about the start, connect with the team. Once you're done with it, you'll be learning about GenAI. Once you're done with this, you'll be learning about GenAI. Okay, GenAI it will take around 8 to 10 weeks. That is how everything goes. I hope you guys have got the slots, right? So now what exactly will be the timing? This will be the timings. Okay, if you want, you can take a screenshot of it. You can take a screenshot of the timings. Okay, what is shown. Remember, this is a sample timing. Sometimes there will be little bit half an hour here and there. But however, connect with the team, they will share you this thing. Fine. Okay, guys, wait till the end. You'll be getting. Guys, take a screenshot of this, the timings, so that you guys get a clarity. And also, here the weekend slots are not mentioned. Okay, maybe weekend slots are mentioned. There will be weekend sessions also. Every Sunday, 9 to 11 will be interview preparation sessions. Okay, fine. And tomorrow, 9 p.m. we'll have the class. Either you'll be starting with Python or SQL, okay? Because these are the prerequisites. You cannot directly get into data engineering if you are not good with Python and SQL. That is the reason as I told you, right? We'll be taking special classes. All the classes are live, guys, not recorded, right? I will help you in learning SQL and Python first, and then we'll be getting into this data engineering part, right? And there'll be totally 13 projects covered, okay? 5 projects in data engineering, and 5 projects in DevOps, and 3 projects in GenAI. Right? What are the kind of projects we'll be covering? Okay, maybe e-commerce data sets projects like Amazon type, right? Flipkart type, healthcare data sets. We'll be working on stock market data sets, supply chain data sets, and IoT and streaming data. This is how we'll be working on. And how does the placement work? Okay, each one of you can easily expect 10 to 15 interview calls. Okay, easily. Okay, because the market, I told you, there are more than 1,14,000 plus job openings in last 3 months. The job openings are very high. Only thing is, okay, for you to get this interview call, you need to clear these 4 steps. You need to do these 4 steps. What is the 4 steps you need to do? First step, you need to work on 13 projects. What are the 13 projects? Okay, what are the 13 projects? Let me show you all the 13 projects that we'll be working on. Step by step. I've already shared you the link of 13 projects. Let me share it to you once again so that you guys can go through. What are the 13 projects we'll be focusing on? These are the 13 projects we'll be working on. Yes, here are the 13 projects. Go through it, guys. Okay, let me open and guide you through. Okay, so these are the 13 projects we'll be working on end to end. Okay, so first 5 projects on data engineering. Okay, first 5 projects on data engineering, like first project on enterprise data ingestion using Azure Data Factory. What are the tools you use? How do you do all of it? Okay, second project on big data processing with Azure Databricks, Apache Spark, and all of it. What are the tools you have to? Third project will be on cloud data warehousing using Azure Synapse, sometimes even Snowflake. Right. Fourth project on Microsoft Fabric data engineering, latest tool. Right. And then fifth will be an end-to-end project like e-commerce, banking, insurance, supply chain, and all of it. And the sixth project will be on DevOps project like Azure DevOps, building CI/CD pipeline, automating CI/CD pipeline. Then on containerization with Docker and deployment with Kubernetes. That is 7th project. 8th project will be on infrastructure provisioning with Terraform. 9th project will be on monitoring and production management. And the 10th project will be on end-to-end production deployment capstone project. And then comes the AI related projects. AI projects. So the 11th project will be on enterprise level rack pipeline based, building an enterprise level rack based knowledge assistant, right? Chat with you so that you can chat with your company data. Okay, and then maybe 12th project will be an AI powered intelligent data sharing assistant, and then finally you'll be working on multi-agent, working on multi-agents put together through AI. Okay, multi-agent AI system where multiple agents come together in a single project, multi-agent business automation system. That is what we'll be working on. These are the 13 projects we'll be working on. This is the first step, guys. As I told you that for you to get placed, first step is you need to work on 13 projects. Second step is global certification. What all certifications should be covered? We covered 9 certifications. What are the 9 certifications that are covered? Let me share you the document again for this. What are the 9 certifications? 7 plus 2. Okay, there are 9 certifications that are covered in this. What exactly are the certifications? I have shared you in the chat box. Open that. Open the document. You'll be getting the clarity. Okay, let me help you out and guide you in understanding what are the certifications that are covered. Okay, 7 certifications for data engineering and DevOps. First thing. Okay, first thing in data engineering part, first certification is for DP. Okay, DP 900, data fundamentals. Second certification, DP 700, Microsoft Certified Fabric Data Engineer Associate. Right. Third certification is for Databricks Certified Data Engineer, and the fourth certification is for Azure Fundamental AZ 900. Fifth certification is for AZ 104, that is Azure Admin. Sixth certificate is for very important AZ 400. Okay, designing and implementing Microsoft DevOps solutions. Seventh certification is for AZ 305, Microsoft Certified Solution Architect. Among this, the most important and must and should certifications are these two: is DP 700 and AZ 400. These two certifications are very important. Very important. Okay, this is how it goes. Both the certifications are relevant. So far, we discussed our 7 certifications. So now, in GenAI also, we'll be covering 2 certifications. What are the 2 certifications we'll be covering? AI 900 and AI 102. Okay, these are the certificates. Let me show you one of the certifications. AI 900, how it works. AI 900. Very important certification, guys. Okay, Microsoft Certified AI Fundamentals. Microsoft Certified AI Fundamentals. As a candidate for this Microsoft certification, you are at the beginning of your career in AI solution development. For this exam, you should have conceptual knowledge of AI solution. First of all, you should know how AI works, how LLM works, how RAG works, how Agentic AI works. Only then you can clear the certification. In Azure, you should know how Azure works and foundational technical skills to work with them. You also need a knowledge of Python. As I told you, without Python, you cannot get into this. Python coding syntax and programming techniques. And you should be familiar with Azure's resources. Okay, only then you can get into it. And what is the exam cost? Let me show you. Each and every exam will have their own cost. You should pay this exam fees only and then book the exam and then get. Sometimes you'll be getting coupons. Okay, sometimes you'll not. If you get coupons, you'll be getting for free. This is the exam cost, 3961. This is what you directly pay to Microsoft. This is how everything will go. Okay, this is the certifications, how it goes. I hope you have got the clarity. That's all. First, you need to clear this projects. You need to work on projects. Second is work on certification. Third is you need to show experience. So no matter how much experience you need to show, let me give you a clarity around that. Who should show how much experience? Let me give you a clarity around that. For that, I hope who should show how much experience. As at the start of the session, I had told you. Okay, there is this thing. Who should show how much experience? For that, go to this link. You'll get a clarity. Who should show how much experience? For example, if you're aiming for a data engineering role, okay, maybe that the package range is around 10 to 25, you need to show 1 to 2 years of experience. But if you're aiming for a senior data engineering role, you should show 25 to 45 LPA. If you are aiming for a data architect role, you should show 2 to 5 years of experience. Right? So these are the kind of how to show this experience will even guide. You'll be guided step by step in the actual classes how exactly everything works. Not to worry on that part. Okay, how everything works, will be guiding you step by step in the actual classes. Not to worry on that. How to show the experience, how to show like IJP and all of it will be taken care. And then finally, once you show the experience, finally it'll be helping you out with resume building, LinkedIn profile optimization, mock interviews is the main thing. For example, okay, after 2 days, 2 days later, you have an interview in Accenture or Infosys or like some Razorpay or Microsoft. you will be taken a mock interview before that. Every Sunday we'll be taking mock interviews, right? So that you get a clarity how exactly to perform in the interview. Okay, you should. Okay, that will give you a lot of performance. For example, if you're giving any kind of a performance, okay, on any kind of show, you have to do a lot of rehearsals, correct? Similarly, you have to do a lot of rehearsal for the interviews, so that when you're talking in the present in any kind of session, you should be really confident. If you are not prepared, you will have the answer in your mind, but you are not like you will not be able to. You'll be blabbering in the interview. We do not want anybody to choke in the interview, right? For that reason, whenever you practice, you should also practice the mock interviews. That is what will be helping you out in the mock interviews. If you clear the mock interviews, then you'll be start getting the referrals. How many interviews? Around like 3 to 5 interview calls per week, around 10 to 15 interview calls per month. This is the kind of references you'll be getting till the time you get placed. And how to show the experience, this is one example. If you want, you can take a screenshot. How to show the experience. If you want, you can take a screenshot of this. How to show experience. Okay. Okay, if you have taken the screenshot, can you just confirm done in the chat box so that we can move forward? Because I don't want to explain everything, because there are certain things are very basic. Okay, I think you guys are smart enough to understand. Okay, so now, if you have a career gap, okay, not to worry. Okay, so there are two approaches of filling the career gap. One approach is, first approach is by you can fill the career gap by showing yourself as a freelancer. Second approach by the help of experience documents. Okay, if you need any kind of assistance on filling the career gap, connect with the team, they will help you out. Okay, then the interview questions, a lot of interview questions, maybe scenario-based interview question preparations. Every Sunday we'll be dealing with interview preparation classes, guys. So that is what we'll be doing. So now let me help you out with the interview. Before showing you interview preparation classes, let me show you, like, so far we have got a placement rate of more than 95%. So now you should ask, any moment of time, even if you are spending single rupee, you should ask, okay, if I'm paying 1 rupee, what is the value you get? Similarly, okay, if you are enrolling for any kind of program, you should also ask, what is the placement rate, right? What is the proof for it? Because anybody can say, we can give you 100%, but what is the proof? Let me show you the proof. Okay, if you go to Google and search for Silicon India Coding Superstar, okay, you can see we have got certified as top 10 cloud computing training firms of India. As you can see, okay, we have been certified as top 10 cloud computing training firms of India. As you can see, it is mentioned here very clearly. Top 10 cloud computing training firms of India. Right? That is a complete article that is written out, because it's not only in India. If anybody is looking for a job abroad, also there are a lot of opportunities even abroad. Okay, I will even share this link. Okay, you can go through it. You'll get a clarity around this. You guys can go through it. Okay, I'm sharing everything. If you want to talk to previous batch participants, you can even connect with the team. They will even share you that. Right? That is how it goes. Right? That is a placement rate, guys. That is all about like what is the proof for the placements. And you will be mentored by who will mentor? There are a lot of experts will be mentored. For Python and SQL classes, you'll be mentored by Python and SQL experts. Data engineering classes will be mentored by senior data engineers and senior data architects. Those are already getting 50, 70 LP, 60, 70 LP and beyond, working on product-based companies. DevOps classes will be mentored by top-notch DevOps architects, right? And GenAI classes will be mentored by top-notch GenAI automation experts. Okay, we'll be taking the GenAI classes. I hope you guys are getting the clarity. And once you enroll, you can attend any number of classes till 1 year. Once you enroll, you can attend any number of classes till 1 year, and there is no limit. You can attend multiple batches with multiple experts, and lifetime access to all the recordings. If you miss any classes, you can refer the recordings. And every Sunday you'll have 9 to 11, you'll have an interview preparation class. And if anybody wants the recordings of the previous batch also, you'll even get that, so that you can even refer the classes recording if you have time. If you got laid off, if you have time, then you can even refer the previous recording and learn. Okay, and start attending the interview calls within 45 days itself. You need not have to wait till 3, 4, or 5 months. Okay, that is the reason. That's the intent. And you'll be getting the referrals, resume building, and interview preparation also. Not to worry about referrals. If you want tomorrow, immediately we can help you out, giving at least 3 interview calls tomorrow itself. It's not about whether you will get interview calls. The question is, are you prepared? Are you worthy enough to handle this interview calls? That is a question you should ask yourself. Okay, I hope you have got the clarity around this. And then first 7 participants who are getting through this, okay, will be getting even this programs as a bonus. Not even a single rupee extra will be charged. Okay, Snowflake is a powerful data warehouse. You will be getting completely as a bonus. Power BI will be getting as a bonus. We are focusing on Azure. You'll be getting AWS Data Engineer also as a bonus, and GCP Data Engineer program also as a bonus. Right? And then PySpark, Python, and SQL. Even this also will be getting. Will be getting as a bonus. See, all Python, SQL, and PySpark are covered. But see, as I told you, Python will be covering 3 libraries: PySpark, NumPy, and Pandas. But if you want to learn more libraries, that will be getting around like 50-60 classes bonus. SQL also, if you want to learn detailed SQL, 50-60 classes access. And also PySpark also will be getting, okay, Apache Spark will be getting detailed classes end to end. Okay, this is for first 7 participants. If you want, you can take a screenshot so that you can, if you are among the first 7 participants, you can go to the representative learning consultant. They will, when they help you enroll, you can ask them for this classes. Okay, as a bonus if you are among first 7 participants. Okay, take a screenshot around that. Okay, and also whenever you enroll anywhere, first of all, you should know, okay, where are you enrolling? Is the company certified? So these are the credentials, okay, of our organization. We are certified top 10 cloud computing training firms in India. I've already shared you the link. Okay, and then we are registered under Ministry of Corporate Affairs, Government of India. If you want to see our certificate, go to the team and ask, can you show your registration certificate? The team will share you that. And we are there into the market in more than 10 plus years. Okay, these are the credentials. Okay, these are the credentials. So now, as I told you, okay, finally, okay, maybe that I will share you how exactly the interview questions will be asked. Okay, how exactly the interview questions will be asked, so that you guys can get a taste of the interviews, how the interview questions will be asked. Can anybody unmute yourself and read out this question number 1? Can anybody unmute yourself and read out this question number 1? Anybody? Yes, guys, go ahead. Anybody? Okay, you guys can unmute yourself and read out the question number 1. For all the fees, details, and everything, okay, you guys can text this number to the team: 6361 6866135. 63616866135. Yes, guys. Anybody? Okay, can you guys unmute yourself and read out this question aloud? How the questions are asked? Yes, Vinay, go ahead. Yeah, Vinay, are you reading? Anybody, guys? Just unmute yourself and read out the question aloud to the class. You're building your career, you have to play it enough. Whenever you are building your career, you have to play it in front foot. No, don't be a backbencher. Backbencher attitude works in colleges, not in career building.
Your company processing real-time IoT sensor data. How could you design a low tendency and scalable pipeline using ADF and Azure Stream Analytics and Azure Synapses Analytics? How could you optimize the performance? How you deal the high velocity streaming data?
Yes, this is how exactly the questions will be asked.
Okay.
Because when you attend interview calls, you do not expect it to be easy. They will not ask you like A for apple, B for ball, C for cat kind of questions. They will give you this kind of scenario, and they will expect
you are
you
not teaching, no, sir, here.
IoT sensor data connections will do, na.
Okay.
This is all with the help of AI. See, you need not have to know about it. Okay, for example, if you are taking the data from website, so in that case, do you think you build a website? No, right?
No. Yeah.
You're just creating an API. Correct?
Okay.
So
and what is the difference between AI and GenAI?
AI is very huge, right? Inside AI, there are a lot of streams, right? There is GenAI is one of the things. There is a curative AI. There are a lot of streams in AI. GenAI is what can generate the result. For example, generative AI. If you put in the results, you can even generate the results, right? You can just Google on these are the basic terminologies. You will get the answers in the Google, right?
Sure.
So now, Vinay, can you read out this question number 6 also?
Managing large-scale data integration. Your organization is migrating
Data
10
migration, large scale data migration.
Your organization is migrating a 10 TB on-premises SQL Server database to Azure Synapse Analytics. How could you plan and execute this migration with minimal downtime? How could you handle the schema drift and data validation post-migration?
Like there are lots and lots of questions on data migration. That is a must. How do you migrate from here to there, from cloud to here, this cloud to that cloud, from on-premise to cloud, from Informatica to cloud? All these things are very much important. And then one question on DevOps. Can you read the question number 7 on data pipeline deployments?
Your team wants to implement CI/CD for ADF. What tools and strategies could you use to ensure the seamless of deployment and rollback? How could you set up infrastructure as a code using Terraform or Bicep for Azure Data Factory, Azure Data Engineering environment?
Yes, this is all the questions. There are lots of questions like that. You'll be able to answer this kind of questions by the end of the training. How many of you need access to this interview document? Just type in me in the chat box. How many of you need access to this interview document? Okay, so normally this is said after 50% of the training is done, I will give you access right away. Not only this, I will even give you access to the complete placement mind map, which I promised you at the start. Okay, complete placement mind map, everything. I can tell you, right, if you follow this mind map, it will give you a clarity like anything. Let me check. It's loading. Yes, it is open. So this is the mind map. How to get bare minimum 2 offer letters. Normally, you can get even 4 to 5 offer letters also. Bare minimum 2 offer letters by following a 4-step, guaranteed placement approach. Complete thing, everything, every scenario, there is a solution. If you have a career gap, what you need to do. If you are at the beginning career, what you need to do. If you're already at a senior level, if you want to be a data architect, what you need to do. What kind of projects you need to add. Everything is step by step. You have a guidance for each and everything in it. I will give you access to it. I need one favor from you guys, right? If you had stayed so long, that means that you have got value from this session. What you need to do is, right, go ahead and share your experience. What is the key takeaway? What did you learn from this session? What was your experience around this session, right? Once you have shared your experience, take a screenshot of that once you have submitted. Then share it on this number 63616866135 to the team and WhatsApp to the team, and the team will share you all the documents that are commented, even though that is only to be shared after 50% of the training. However, the team will share you immediately once the session is done. I hope you guys have got the clarity. Go ahead and share your experience. So now the forum is open for you to ask questions. You guys can unmute yourself and ask questions, or you can even ask your questions in the chat box as well. Expected amount, it will be around like 3,000 to 4,000 change, Satya. Not every certifications are important. Only the important certifications. What we guide you, only you need to write those. Yes. For fees and all, I have already told you, whatever the number that is shared above, you can message WhatsApp on that number, that email guide you on that. Yes, guys. If anybody has any kind of questions, you guys can even ask, or you can even type in the chat box. So before we close, you guys can, and also tomorrow 9 p.m. we'll have class. If you're already enrolled, well and good. If not, connect with them, they will help you out with them.
Hello.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, sir. Actually, see, I'm already having a 5 year of experience as a QA engineer, and currently I'm working. So from QA to switch from QA to data engineer, it is possible.
So what is your current CTC?
It's 40 LPA 14.
You're getting 40. Yes, it's possible. Only thing, see, as you're already working on QA, are you working in like guys, maybe right, Satya, Vinay, thanks that you're appreciating. Try to share your experience in the link that is shared, and take a screenshot of it and share it to the team. They will share you the documents, all of you. Fine. So see, no matter what experience you have, okay, remember it, you have to out of QA. What QA are you at? Manual testing or like automation testing? What is it like?
Manual plus automation, both.
You're working on it. Okay. So what domain are you working on? E-commerce domain or what is it like? What kind of domain are you working on?
It's a banking domain.
Banking
So I'm
domain. Right. So
working on
now
the
you are working.
transactions and
So
card
now,
details.
got it. So now what you are doing, you are on a banking application. Okay. You are working as a tester. Correct.
Right.
Similarly, what will show from last, you will show like this. I was working into a last 5 years. Initially, I started my career working as a automation tester or a QA tester. Gradually, okay, 2 years back, there was an opportunity in my company for a data engineering role. Okay, specifically for a banking domain. That is when I internally gave an interview within my organization with the form of IJP, internal job posting. From last 2 to 3 years, I'm working as a data engineering, where I'm working on banking data sets. And then you can need to explain how you worked on building data pipelines for banking data sets with the help of Data Factory, Databricks, Synapse, and deploying data pipelines with the help of DevOps, CI/CD, Kubernetes, and building Agentic AI. Okay, and automating it with the help of Agentic AI, LLM, and RAG skills. This is how you need to project. How to project this? This is one example I give you. There will be detailed sessions around this on every Sundays. I just give you an example, right?
Okay.
So there is a customize. It's like it's like a cream on the cake, right? Whatever the experience you already have, it's like a cake, right? We need to add a cream on the cake, right? So that your profile looks very attractive.
Okay.
Right? And also it should not be like only your profile is looking attractive, but inside the cream there is nothing. That is also a dangerous thing, right? You should be to fill the cake. You should have a value cake. You should be tasty cake. Then what you need to do? We need to have proper project skills, right?
Right.
So that is what we'll be trying to focus on.
But sir, at the end, that my profile shows in only QA, right? My
See, that is the reason we'll be using. See, that is the reason we'll be using this term called as IJP, internal job posting. Which company are you working with?
It's Sarvatra Technology.
Okay, जो भी company. Just imagine that you are working on TCS. Just for the example, it's an easy thing. Every company will have IJP, right? Internal job posting. Before they show the requirements to the outside world, they will give the requirements to the internal opportunity to internal teams only, right?
Right.
So you tell that internally I got the opportunity. So if you are working on banking, obviously they will be working on huge amount of data, right? They need people to manage this data. They need data engineers, right? That is how it goes. When you get the job internally, then in the designation, still it will be QA lead or like QA tester only. But you can explain in the interview that how to project that, how to explain that, all these aspects will be taken care, not to worry on that part.
Right. Got it.
Okay, see, at the end of the day, even the interviewer know how it works. Let's say at the end of the day, for example, if I'm the interviewer, if I am taking the interview for you, so if you're getting already 14 lakhs, so now you are coming and expecting around like 25 to 30 lakhs. So then I would expect you to at least give me, in my back in my mind, I will be calculating. If I'm paying you 25 lakh, okay, I should get a value of at least 2 crores.
Right.
Correct. But that calculation will be there. Do you have the capability to work on such kind of projects? If you're able to do that, justify that, then even 30 lakh is very small for me to give you. Correct. 30 lakhs for you, it may be big. For me as a project owner, as a business owner, 30 lakhs is nothing when I'm making a profit of 2 crores. Correct. That is how the companies think. For example, right now, TCS for freshers, how much do they pay? 3.54 lakhs. Correct. Do you know how much per fresher, how much do they bill to their client? 20 lakhs. Correct.
Right.
So this is how the companies think. You should know how the companies and the owners think. If you understand that, if you tackle their mindset, then you will get any kind of package you ask for. Only thing, provided that you should give such kind of value.
Okay. But the transition is possible, right?
Possible. No, absolutely possible. There are lots and lots of participants, not one or two. If that was the case, right, nobody would be able to switch from here to there, na?
Right.
अगर वैसा था कि मतलब अगर टेस्टिंग में ही मतलब ऐसा नहीं कि ना मरते दम तक टेस्टिंग पे काम करो, नहीं ना, छेल तो सभी लोग कर रहे हैं, राइट? चेंज तो होगा, मतलब चेंज करने का एक तरीका है, करेक्ट, वो हमें फॉलो करना है.
Okay, sir. Yeah, got it.
यू कैन नॉट बी ब्लंट. मैंने ऐसा नहीं जाके बोल सकते कि मैंने ट्रेनिंग लिया, अभी मुझे ये चाहिए. कोई भी नहीं देगा आपको.
कोई नहीं देगा. Yeah.
देयर इज एन अप्रोच, देयर इज अ स्मार्ट अप्रोच. हर एक चीज का स्मार्ट अप्रोच है. एवरीबडी विल ओपनली बात नहीं कर सकते इसके बारे में, बिकॉज एवरीबडी वांट टू कीप देयर सीक्रेट बरीड, करेक्ट.
Right.
कोई नहीं बोलता आपको, मतलब हम मैंने ऐसे किया, मैंने वैसे किया. सो विल बी टॉकिंग ऑल द डार्क ट्रूथ्स अबाउट हाउ आईटी इंडस्ट्री वर्क्स, राइट.
बट सर अभी और जस्ट मुझे स्विच करे हुए भी ना, नई कंपनी ज्वाइन करके मुझे जस्ट अभी 1 मंथ हुआ है, मतलब अभी सेकंड मंथ चल
देखो
रहा
आप भी है ना, ये स्किल सीखने में ऐसा नहीं कि मतलब आपको पॉलिश कर सकते हो. ऐसा नहीं कि आई एम नॉट टेलिंग इमीडिएटली, तब तक है. देखो देयर लॉट ऑफ स्किल्स, अपने 13 प्रोजेक्ट्स हैं, करेक्ट. ऐसा
Right.
नहीं कि मतलब आप कल ही सीखो, टाइम लगेगा. कितना ज्यादा प्रैक्टिस करोगे उतना ये है. साइड बाय साइड
Right.
जॉब करो, साइड बाय साइड ये भी सीखो, राइट. देयर विल बी टाइमिंग. एट द एंड ऑफ द डे वी हैव टू बी रेडी विद एवरीथिंग. टाइम कैसे
Right.
चेंज होगा, या स्टीव जॉब्स हैड सेड वन थिंग, राइट. यू हैव टू कनेक्ट द डॉट्स, करेक्ट. स्टीव जॉब्स ने है ना स्टार्टिंग में जाके अपना कैलीग्राफी जाके सीखा था, मतलब ही वाज जॉबलेस और समथिंग, राइट. मतलब व्हेन ही बिल्ड एप्पल, ओके, देन ही यूज्ड ऑल दिस कैलीग्राफी स्किल्स इन दिस कीबोर्ड एंड ऑल. एप्पल में जो फॉन्ट्स होते हैं ना, ही इंप्लीमेंटेड दैट. then he comes and told, whatever I did, okay, I didn't know why I did, but when I turn back and see everything connected, that is called as connecting the dots,
Yes.
right. So that is how we need to think everything. अभी कुछ सेंस करेगा, कुछ सेंस नहीं करेगा. First of all, whatever drives you, you have to do that. Okay.
Yeah, sir.
Questions on.
Yeah.
You told if they are not working and all, how you'll train them? I mean,
Not
data
working in the
engineering.
sense.
If you are searching for a job like that,
I did not understand, Vinay, your question.
currently I'm getting relieved on this month. If I do the
So
course,
what is your profile like?
data engineer,
Okay, what are the kind of tools you are working on, Vinay?
SQL, Redshift, AWS, ETL.
Okay, so basically you're working on on-prem data engineer, right?
Yeah.
You're not working on a cloud data engineer. And what is your current CTC, Vinay?
22.
You're already getting 22. So only thing is, right, so you have to learn what the companies are looking for. So now, so if you're already getting relieved, what you can do, first step, you will be even getting the recordings of the previous batch. Number one. Okay, so every day we would want you to at least watch 4 to 5 classes. Okay, 4 to 5 classes. Okay, and along with that, we'll be even adding to multiple batches, morning batch, evening batch, weekend batches, so that you go very fast. Correct. Once you're ready with the projects and all, then within 4 weeks, 5 weeks or 6 weeks, how fast you learn. Based on that, what we will do, we will even conduct the mock interviews for you. Based on that, within second or third month only, you can attend the interview calls. Only thing is that you need to practice very ferociously. Right. So if you're already a data engineer, you already understand how the data pipelines works. Correct. End to end, everything works. So now you have to do the same thing in a cloud platform. Right.
Yeah.
That is where the challenge is. So that is where we'll be giving you all the materials and all. Yes. If you're already into this, you can, and also you'll be a mentor will be assigned to. If you have any kind of questions, you can ask that and everything. See, you're not alone. There are lots and lots of smart guys all across India will be in the community. Right. So when everybody else is also asking questions, okay, tackling there, you will have your brain will be very sharp around this, right? So when how the data pipeline work, how this because it will be a lot of scenarios, right? See, at the end of the day, building a data pipeline is one thing. After you build, there will be 100 problems, correct? How do you tackle that, correct? Now in a faster way. That is where. That is how the interview questions will be. They will tell you, for example, if the data pipeline is taking, okay, once at the start it was taking just 10 minutes. All of a sudden it is taking 3 hours. Vinay, how will you optimize that? And make it to, again, less than 10 or 15 minutes. Right? To optimization will take a lot of hierarchy, right?
We need to check dependencies.
Lot of things, not one thing. There are a lot of levels you need to check. Correct? It's, for example, for optimizing, if you have a car, for example, at the start when you bought a car, it was giving you mileage of 25 kilometers per every liter. But right now, after 1 year, it is given, all of a sudden it has dropped to around 10 kilometers per liter. So how do you optimize the car engine and everything to bring it back to at least around 15 to 20? right? You have to check different parameters, right? The engine, how it is consuming, right? What is it going wrong? Clutch plates or gearbox and all of it, correct? Similarly, the same things happens in a data engineering line also.
Yeah.
Okay, so you will be guided, not to worry. So only thing is that you should be, so you should plan. First of all, each and everyone, I suggest you one thing, each one of you should have your own, what do you call, timetable. Okay, plan. For example, when you
Correct.
prepare for when you were preparing for the exams during your college days, you had a pipeline, a timeline, right? Morning this much time I will wake up, I will do this things and all. Similarly, you should have a timetable for your this learning also. Only then you will be getting proper results. If you randomly like, I have mood today, I will learn. Tomorrow I do not have mood, I skip. I will go to a movie, and day after tomorrow again. If you have that kind of attitude, that will not work. I'm not telling to Vinay, I'm telling to everybody. Okay, you should have a very strict disciplined mindset. Whether you have the mood or not,
We
you
should
should
set
do that.
consistency.
Right?
We should.
So that is when you'll be getting the results. Yes,
So
guys.
morning
Anybody?
data engineering match, evening DevOps means it will get confused, no?
No, it will not. Everything will be from the very scratch. Not to worry. So connect with the team. They will guide you on that part.
Sure. Thanks for section.
Yeah, guys. I hope you guys have got the clarity. So anybody else has any final questions before we close? You can ask. Yeah, guys. Anybody else has any final questions before we close? Fine. I think a lot of you have, almost 20, 25 of you have already shared the screenshot. Okay, the team will share you the this thing. If you have not, okay, just go ahead and share your experience. How was your experience so far? What was the key takeaway? So that, right, even outside India also a lot of participants will be, and they will also get, okay, by seeing your comments, they will also get a clarity.